All right, here we go again. Real life, and we're back. Okay, we were talking about you know some national stuff. Now we're going to talk about St. Louis and Missouri, because we got serious issues here in our my home state. You know, and it's MAGA central. You know, the most racist state in the country, state of Missouri. But we're going to talk about a couple of other things, and here we go. And now we're talking about the tornado, tornado relief, or so we thought. Okay, and we're going to talk about that too, as it pertains to black people. All right, it says, I'm looking at this article that says St. Louis, nearly after 6 months, the tornado, 6 months ago, it hit us something, and it says St. Louis has spent only 4 million of Rams settlement funds. Okay, so the money that we got from suing the Rams, when they left and went to L.A., Trump, Kroenke, and all that, the whole deal. We know what happened, But what we didn't know is how much, the money and who got the money and who held on the money. Now we're knowing, we know now, the money was basically kidnapped by the people who have access to getting the money. When that money came, it had to come somewhere to a bank or whatever. So the people got their hands on it. Okay, so the Rams money, none of that money's being spent on tornado recovery because it's gone. Okay, so Kara Spencer, here's the problem. Here's the problem. Before I talk about the mayor, black folks, what happened? You didn't vote. You didn't vote, and then that allowed the enemy to come in. Okay. Here's the problem. They're talking about 4 million. The damage was 1.5 billion. The whole city got torn up. Okay? So, here's the problem. Black folks didn't vote. You didn't vote. And then you got suckered. Okay? You bought what Kara Spencer was selling. You turn on to this. Miss Jones. In other words, the daughter of Burvis Jones. Now, when you talk about Burvis Jones, you're talking about somebody that the white folks hated here. Okay, they hated Burvis Jones because he defended black people. They didn't like that. They don't like it here. Anytime you defend black people or you're trying to help black people, the racists in Missouri, they hate it. Okay, and they hated Burvis Jones. So Letitia, I think it's Tashara Jones. That's her name. I think it is. Excuse me if I mess it up. But she was the one that was running for mayor against Kara Spencer, and y'all went for her, the white lady. Where her and her, funny thing about that, ain't no money been spent on tornado relief. She ain't released none. So the money is gone. They stole the money, white folks. I'm gonna tell you about white folks here. If it's working against black folks, they all down with it. I done seen it for years and years. You know, the 1.5 billion is not happening. See what I'm saying? I'm looking at things, looking at the things that happen. You know, you let, the fact that you didn't vote, that allowed Spencer to get in there. Then she turned on you, and of course I knew that was gonna happen. See, because white folks are white folks. Y'all stab, y'all let them trick you to turn in against Miss Jones, the lady who was working for black people, just like her daddy. And they wanted her out. And they tricked y'all to believing that now this new mayor, they did a goddamn thing for you. In the city, it's still looking like garbage, and it's gonna stay like that. Now they're talking. It's 6 months, and the money's gone. Okay, and they got all these rules and regulations. I checked it out. They got rules and regulations. You can't get the money because of this rule. Fuck that. Trump done told you rules don't mean shit. So all that shit they doing, those are roadblocks that they can erase with a drop of a pen. But they don't want to do that because they love to when it comes to black people, they love to make you suffer here. The worse things that happen to you, the more they laugh. That's the racism about white folks here. It's off the chain, okay? They hate black folks here. They'll do it. That's number one. Okay, what can we do to hurt black people? And it's always been there. Okay, so all those phony goddamn rules and regulations and holding the money and all that shit, they know what they doing. White folks, racist white folks, feeding you a line of bullshit. The money, we can't get the money because of this. We can't get the money because of that. This rule, that. This rule, this. When they got to get the money, when they want their motherfucking money, the rules don't even apply. They don't have the rules. They tear that shit up. But they working that bullshit game on you because you didn't vote, though. See, you didn't vote. If you voted, then you have your people in there. You had the money. You be rebuilding your city. But you turned all your power. You had the power. The vote was in your goddamn power, black people. But you didn't want it. You was looking at football or some shit while they were running that motherfucking game, that sweep right by you, as they say. We want to talk football? Okay. They was running that power sweep right by your ass. And you was like a weak ass linebacker. Couldn't hold your block. So they just kept on running it. They were telling you, oh, you're doing the job. Keep doing what you're doing. And they still sweeping. See, now you sitting up here bitching and moaning. I saw it. We ain't got nothing. They not giving us the money. The money's being held. Shit. All you had to do was vote and you got the goddamn money because you would have had your power. See, I'm on black people's asses on this. The white folks are racist off the chain here. You should have known that. You know the playbook. Sleep. So, boy, I mean, I'm just thinking about, everything. I'm thinking about that 1.5 billion. You're not going to ever get that. So the city is trash. And Now I was talking about the Cardinals too. You know, like I said, they're gone. They're gonna be gone. Well, they looking at this shit, man. Look at this city. Hey, how about this? The Montreal Cardinals or the Nashville Cardinals. They out of here though, just like the Chiefs. We talk about that too, but hey, we're talking about what the tornado did to St. Louis and what the city and the mayor and all these white folks are not doing. And that's they're not turning over the money. They're not spending money because they don't give a damn about the city of St. Louis. They care about the county of St. Louis. See, they racist minds have convinced themselves that they don't need a city. Well, that's why all the businesses are leaving. I got the under things. You see what I'm saying? You look and shit, cause white folks want to cover shit up, but businesses are leaving. And I told you once before, and I'm telling you again, the DeWints, when it's time to sell, they're gonna sell this motherfucker, the Cardinals, out of town, and they out of here. And all you motherfucking racists are gonna be crying, and I'm gonna be laughing when that happens. Okay, so but we wanted to talk about what's going on with St. Louis and Missouri as far as that tornado and the funds that were supposed to go to rebuild the city, and it ain't happening. They had already stole the money. Now they running their mouth bullshitting and chucking and jiving. That's white folks for you here. They don't give a damn about black people, and they like the fact that the city is destroyed. Because ain't none of them down there. Now what they want y'all out in the streets, killing each other, shooting each other. Then, hey, this time, hey, let's get them all out of here. Same old goddamn plan by racist ass white people. But you fell for it this time, black folks, because you didn't get your ass out there and vote. I keep saying that. I said it on my channel. I said, hey, get out there and vote 90 goddamn %. And see, and if that would have happened, or close, because he didn't vote 50, we'd have got all this shit over with. All the Trump wouldn't even be in there. But you didn't want to do that. Okay, so I'm getting ready to close. So just to say it again, vote. Don't give me a goddamn excuse. You know, you did not vote and you let them take your power, okay? And your money, okay? So that's my message here. Vote next time and get all these races out of here. That's all that you got to do. Then they'll run and come back, go back to the cave. So as long as you sit on your ass and don't vote, you keep on giving them that power, that unearned goddamn power that white folks always get. Unearned shit. Vote, black folks, and get their ass out.